know, there are certain admissions that I refuse to make. I refuse to make an admission to the effect that the government of Kenya does not value education. We will not even allow our neighbors to hear us saying that about ourselves. It is one person who has pretended, because he has seen different priorities. He knows very well that even if the billions that you're talking about, I do not send them to education, there will not be a consequence. There will not be a consequence. What consequence, for example, does William Ruto have right now that children are at home? What is the consequence? Zero. Because why? The following thing that he will do, he will collect parents of Kasarani, put them in one hall, bring mattresses, water tanks. What else are these empowerment shenanigans? And every parent to walk home with 1,000 shillings. To him, that is more important. That is more strategic. To him, that lies to the people that I'm a president who listens to you. Vijana, vikundi ya vijana, mpate pikipiki. Can you stop giving youth a motorcycle? If you superintended over them when they were dropping out of school and you did not send the money that you were supposed to them, stop waiting for them at the junction with a motorbike. That is not empowerment. So what happens if you buy for every kijana motorbike? Watabeba nani? Right now there's a crisis at every stage. At every stage, there are more motorbikes than the passengers that are supposed to be ferried. So the kind of economics that William Ruto is subjecting this country to is just unfortunate. And I have always wanted to tell the president, please, I know that you believe in education, because I interacted with the president when he was the Minister for Higher Education. Yes. And when we were discussing Vision 2030, I give this example because I saw him. I sat in the hall. For the records, the NGO that time I was a CEO of was the one that had funded that meeting where we were discussing Vision 2030. And that time Mogo Kibati was the CEO. And the president was the chief guest. And we were discussing Vision 2030. I have never forgotten his words, how he was saying the central role of education in transforming this country to a middle-income economy. Where has that gone to? So we're dealing with someone who knows what is supposed to be done. But out of bad will and bad faith, he is deciding. You said 80 million for what?
Nairobi. Well,
80 billion for Nairobi.
80 billion for Nairobi is more important to him. And he does not want to pass that money through the systemic. There is the county assembly of Nairobi, that probably would tell him, no, we have better priority. Because the MCAs are the ones that really interface with people on the ground. They would say, we think that level 4, the maternity hospital in Ruai requires a bed, requires this, requires this. So he doesn't want to engage Kenyans through the systemic ways of doing things. So when Nairobi will be brought for 80 billion, probably the 30 billion is what will hit the road for Nairobi, and 50 billion will be unaccounted for. And this is not how we had imagined that our country would one day be run. This is not how we had actually imagined. You cannot come from 2000, when we are saying all children are in school, to 2026, when we are counting the children who are in school. We cannot. It is an unacceptable state of affairs, and Kenyans must rise. And if for nothing else, Kenyans must defend their right to education. And there is only one way to defend the right to education. We have known we cannot discuss education in isolation. We cannot sit here and discuss education in isolation, because we have seen how bad presidents affect education.
Right. And
so we have to discuss it in the global perspective of reforming our country. We want leaders that believe in the Constitution and in the right